let's get into this. Hello, James. Good morning. Happy Sunday. Hello, Moon. How are we doing? Hi, Vegetable. How are you? Good morning. It is Sunday. It is a nice Sunday here, actually. So I'm pretty happy about that. We get to go outside. Look at you, James. 10 stream streak. Holy shitballs. Hi, Carlos. Hi, Don. How are you? I know we're starting a little bit early. You've been on social. What the fuck? That's awesome. So you watched Final Destination 2 last night, and apparently I forgot that it was the log truck. Oh, yeah, that's the log truck one. We all know what happens with the log truck. Hi, Blood and Bruise. Good morning. Good morning. I hope we're doing good. I hope we're doing good. Yeah. I am fabulous. It's Sunday. The only plans I have is I have to go grocery shopping. And yeah, grocery shopping. Try to get the yard ready for the summer. But we're supposed to have snow on Tuesday, so I don't really want to be doing all that hard yard work and then goddamn snow comes. Yeah, it's April. I know. There's snow. You're just doing your creepy outfits by Chrome. Oh, very cool, Don. Very, very cool. I'm doing fabulous, Petro. I honestly, I can't complain. I just updated the Patreon. So if you're a Patreon member, I just updated that to show actual code for my website that I have my memberships on. So I know some of you already are aware that theghoulshop.com is my website where I sell my merchandise as well as have private membership. And that means I obtain 95% of my membership compared to Patreon 70 and YouTube 70%, right? Did I hear Final Destination? Final Destination 2. But Final Destination could be like a death metal band. I showed Heavy Deathgasm on Friday night. So Friday night, we went out to The First Omen, which I thoroughly enjoyed. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody. I will tell you that The First Omen is really good. It ties everything in. And if you watched my reaction video and what I said in my reaction video, it was everything I hoped it would have been. So if you get a chance to go and see it in the theaters, definitely do so. If not, see it when it's out on VOD streaming services. I enjoyed it. And Heavy, who is not a horror fan by any means, he thought it was interesting. So it's definitely something you should go and see. Final Destination is what happened when I herniated 3 discs in my back. Yeah, that sucks, James. So I should go see First Omen Tuesday. Nice. I would love to hear your thoughts on it, James. If you haven't seen... You don't really have to see the original Omen. In my opinion, they gave you enough backstory to kind of put 2 and 2 together. But if you're a fan, I would definitely watch the original. I mean, even if you didn't want to, I would tell you if you've never seen it, I would still watch it. It's not necessary, though, right? It's not mandatory that you have to watch or have to see The Omen 2, 3, and then the new one, because technically you don't. But if you want to get a better understanding of everything, definitely watch Omen, because the first Omen does throw a lot. Does throw a lot of like, and what I really like about it, it doesn't flash back. Hi, Ken, how are you? I wish this could be a watch party, right? And Twitch used to have watch parties, but now they're no longer. Yeah, Twitch used to have them where you could actually watch movies together while on Twitch. You had to have Amazon Prime. Unfortunately, YouTube is very touchy about copyright. We've tried doing non-copyright movies on here, like Night of the Living Dead, The Bat, and several others. However, YouTube still gives me a hard time about it, so it's just not worth it. So I do them in my Discord. I do movie nights in my Discord on Thursday evenings. You own all the Omens. I might rewatch them today. Nice. I own all of them as well. I own the collector's edition of The Omen back in the day when it came out. I love The Omen. I thought it was great. I thought it was well done. Well done on every level, even the practical effects in the original Omen. So we are talking about the very first Omen that happened. Yeah, it's really cool. We should do a CCOH on that. Maybe compile all the Omens, leaving out the first Omen, but just compiling the Omens. There is a remake. Did the remake come out in like 2016? Hello, Macabre. All the clothes are ready to rock and roll. Sweet. I believe there was a remake. I want to say 2016. I'm just not 100% sure of the year release. But yes, it was a remake. The remake isn't horrible. 2006. Yeah, I knew it has 6 in it somewhere. I just couldn't remember the full year. It was all right. It's not better than the first one. Tonight you'll be watching Blair Witch Project. Nice, nice. So The Omen is about a young child by the name of Damien, who is the Antichrist. That's what it's about. And his parents, they adopt this young boy, and the young boy is the Antichrist, and things start happening around the family and yada yada. And things get crazy out of control. And then it goes on from 1, 2, and 3, and then the remake. And then the first Omen is basically a prequel to what happened in 1, right? So definitely worth the watch if you like Antichrist films. You know, religious horror is really what it is. It's a religious horror. If you like religious horror, I'm going to tell you to go and see it. Hello, Monkey. How are you? The first one still has the scene that freaks me out to this day. The maid, I know. It's pretty awesome, Macabre. Clowns are awesome, and I'm not a clown fan. So basically, it's Problem Child. Basically, but a bit more evil. Because Problem Child had what? Macaulay Culkin in it, right? If I remember serves me, I don't know, if memory serves me correct, I believe it had Macaulay Culkin. However, this is just more evil. So the very first, the original Omen, Damien. I'll be meeting the guy, Harvey Stevens. He played Damien in The Omen, the original Omen, and I'm going to be meeting him this summer. I'm really excited. Problem Child, but it brings on the end of the world. Basically, exactly. It's a religious horror where there's some shit that goes on. Remake that is horrible, like The Crow. Well, see, The Crow, the new Crow that's coming out, is supposed to be like a remake or a reboot of the comic book series, not the original film with Brandon Lee. So I don't know. Will it be horrible? And if you compare the comic book to what's coming out, it's kind of on par. I know everybody that's not into the comic book, like myself, I enjoyed the Crow movies with Brandon Lee. So that's my first introduction to the Crow, right? Damn, it's been a while since I've seen you. Hope all is well. All is great, Black Sun. I hope you're doing good. So yeah, it's Dark Archon. How are you? So that's my understanding. I was first introduced to the Crow as Brandon Lee, right? So that's the version I'm used to. However, I was reading the uproar that people were having about this new Crow movie. However, the new Crow movie is supposed to be based on the comics, which I know nothing about. So for me, it's not really a big deal. Or tries to bring on the end of the world. Yeah, well, definitely. Remake. Well, yeah, and again, Dawn, I haven't seen it, so I really can't say. Oh, look at a squirrel. I love your guts, Dark. How are you? Oh, I'm not squirreling too much there, Monkey. We haven't even started CCOH yet. We're just waiting for everyone to come in. And hell, I even started early just to sit there and chit-chat. So we're just going to wait for everyone to come in, and then we'll head on over. Everybody does need something to complain about, and it's so funny, Macabre. I seen, back in the day when Malignant came out, the movie Malignant, people were up in arms. We want new horror. Rah, rah, rah. Malignant came out, gave us something new and interesting with some, inspired by several other movies. Hello, Deadwalk. How are you? That's so weird that actually went off when they are disabled. Why do I always have gremlins up in this bitch? Because my gremlins, they just love me. That's why. How are you, Deadwalk? Hi, Vengeance. How are you? Hi, Steve. My gremlins are real. I'm doing good. I can't complain. It's not a must-watch list for me, but I do like that movie. Crow? Yeah, I'll see it when it comes out on VOD. It's very rare I go to the movie theater because my little movie theater is shit. When we went to go see The First Omen, there were 10 dead pixels. 10 dead pixels on the theater screen. And that's all I fucking noticed throughout the whole movie. So I wasn't too impressed. So I did say something to management about the dead pixels, but yeah, I don't really go. It's not worth it. It's just not worth my money to go. Sounds like someone isn't taking care. No, I live in a tiny town. I don't live in anything big. And COVID really fucked this place up, especially because we only have one movie theater. And COVID really messed this place up. Places have closed. There's less hours of working. Our movie theater is only open on specific days just because everything that's going on now. Video straight to movie straight to TV is also helping to kill the theater experience because you're giving people the choice to either go to the movies, spend $75 on a night to watch the movie in chairs that are not the greatest, or watch it from home where you have all the concession food that you want and you're paying $20, $25 to watch the movie. Reloose Illusion, welcome to the crypt. Thank you for the follow. So, I mean, if you think about it, right? I've read a few of the books and I have the collector's edition of the comic. And one of the constant things about the Crow is never the same person in every story. There's even a female Crow that could have made an interesting movie. That's pretty cool, but I can guarantee you people would have been up in arms if the Crow was female. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. I'm doing all right. I love your makeup. Looking like a sexy horror queen. Well, thank you, Vengeance. I appreciate it. Oh, Gore, thank you for being a Leviathan here on YouTube. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. My theater, it has soft recliners. My dad falls asleep in them. Yeah, no, our movie theater it's old. It's old. Gore, how are you doing, my friend? Thank you again. I really do appreciate it. Kratos! I saw The First Omen last night at Landmark Cinema here. It was only $9 for a ticket, and Landmark has automated wide seat nice. We don't have, we have Cineplex. And what did you think of it, Kratos? I actually enjoyed The First Omen. Brandon Lee was the Crow, but this new one seems more... Yes, Bruno, it is. It's more... From what I read, it's more comic book than reboot of movie, right? Because that was my first introduction to the Crow, was the original with Brandon Lee. How are you, Bruno? I am fabulous, fabulous. I'm one of those people I'd rather pay $20 to stay home. Yeah, well, you have the comforts of home. There are certain movies that I will see on the big screen, but like I said, my movie theater is a shitty theater. I don't live in a big town. I live in a small town, so it's one movie theater. Sometimes we don't get movies in this theater. So unlike Calgary, you have like 3 or 4 fucking cinemas. Edmonton, same thing. Oh my God, Gore. Thank you. Thank you so very much for gifting 5 friggin' memberships to people over on YouTube. Seriously, thank you. Holy shitballs. Mwah. Thank you. Thank you. Very appreciative. Very appreciative. I just added our new weekly serial killer episode 5. Episode 6 of serial killer discussion for YouTube will be popping out Monday sometime. I've got to record it later today. I enjoyed it. Had genuine jump scares and creepy moments, but one of the horror tropes I hate were put into it, and it made me feel so uncomfortable. Yeah. The Hell Priest in... Oh, yeah. Well, the Hell Priest always had no gender. It wasn't male or female. When we're talking about Hellraiser and we go back into the actual novella for Hell Priest before it was Hellraiser, before it was even turned into a movie, The Hell Priest did not have a gender. It wasn't male or female. However, some of the Cenobites are male and some of the Cenobites are female, but the Hell Priest themselves is not. And to boot, Jamie Lee Clayton, who is Hell Priest in the reboot new universe of Hellraiser, she's also a trans woman, which is pretty fucking awesome. Ra, hopefully your theater does not smell like old. No, it doesn't smell. It's just shitty. But yeah, Jamie Lee Clayton, she played and she did an amazing fucking job. She did an amazing job as the Hell Priest. And I don't really like calling the Hell Priest Pinhead. It just cheapens his look. It just cheapens him if I call him Pinhead. I love the term Hell Priest. He seems more regal, more demanding of respect at the Hell Priest. Yeah, she did a great job. So are you going to be getting Killer Klowns from Outer Space? I think so, Bruno. I haven't 100% decided on it because Killer Klowns from Outer Space, the video game, when it comes out, is only going to have 2 maps. My biggest thing is I play a lot of indie horror titles. I've wasted a lot of money on indie horror games where the game is dead because they only came out with X amount of content for the first release, right? And it took them forever. Look at Evil Dead, right? I spent a lot of money on that game. I am not going to lie. Women are hot, right? Exactly, Vengeance. Yeah, Hell Priest was just she did such a good job. And both vocals for both Hell Priest, Doug Bradley and Jamie Lee Clayton, also had modifiers for the audio. What you hear Doug Bradley say, yeah, that's his voice. However, there was also a modifier on his voice, just like Jamie Lee Clayton had in the new Hellraiser. Pinhead was a nickname given to the character. Yes, it was. Definitely it was, Deadwalk. That's a lot of gaming. Yeah, I do a lot of gaming stuff. Proudly pansexual, right on, Vengeance. Hey, whatever makes you happy, however it makes you happy, I'm all for it. Yeah, it's like calling John Kramer Jigsaw. Yeah. Maeve, how are you? All right, guys, I think we're going to do our quick tarot card reading here, and then we're gonna head right into Coffee Chat of Horrors. I got a lot of information for you. James, thank you so much for sacrificing the soul of Darkbreaker to the Horde. Mwah, I greatly appreciate it. There's a lot of money, and the games here are about $80-$90 Canadian. So I pay a lot of money for games. Did I hear right? Killer Klowns is going to be on... I'm not 100% sure on release if it will be on Game Pass. I haven't really looked into it. I know that when it drops, it'll have 2 maps. And that's my leeriness on it is Evil Dead. I dropped over $100 on Evil Dead, and that game is now dead. And when it came out, it only had 2 maps, right? Seems a little iffy for me. Hi, Draven, how are you? Okay, let's do our tarot card reading for the day. Let's see. What will the rest of this week bring us? We have a new week starting today. I know Monday's coming. So let's see what the cards have to say for us for our week ahead. So what is surrounding us a week ahead? Hello, Dahi. Yeah, 80-90 CAD for a base game, Petro Bowl. Yeah, you want a base game here? Unless it was like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Texas Chainsaw Massacre was $50. Zombie Army 4 was $150 because I bought the deluxe version. Yeah, it's pretty crazy here how much the games are. Yeah. So, what does the week have in store for us? Let's see what the week has in store. Dahi, how are you? How's your weekend? And it might be Macabre. I don't have a definite answer if it is on Game Pass. I'm not sure. I want to play Killer Klowns, but after the heartbreak of Evil Dead and TCM now dying, they need to drop 4 maps plus on release. That is my issue, Kratos. You feel my pain as an indie horror game player. It's just, you get jaded, man. Like, I love indie horror and I love supporting it. It's all I play. However, we see what's happening, you know? Yeah, 120 to 200 for deluxe or collector's edition. You're good, Soar. We did some landscaping, installed some new windows. Ooh, nice window wells yesterday. Right on. I don't think TCM is dying. They just need to, it's not that it's dying. It's that people are getting fed up with shit and stop playing. So technically it's still busy, but it's not as busy as it was when it first came out. And all of the issues and the cheating with the crossplay, I stopped playing it. I haven't played it since Wednesday, and before that was like almost 2 weeks ago. Zombie Army 4 is definitely worth the damn cash, guys. I just wait until Xbox has a sale. Yeah, but usually these games don't go on sale for at least a year. Gonna be honest, TCM didn't hit. Oh no, TCM does not hit like Friday the 13th. I really wish Friday the 13th would actually be resurrected and come back again, because that was the perfect fucking game. Yeah. But TCM could die. Oh, it will die if they don't address the issues. All right, so let's see what the week has in store for us. Let's see. Boom. Flow of prosperity. Make sure you guys are getting outside and into nature. You need to recharge those batteries. Make sure you're balancing your home life and your career life, because when one is out of balance, we have issues. So you're going to want to make sure that you balance your career and your home life. You want to work as hard as you play, because when you don't, you are unbalanced, and that causes issues in our lives. Not only does it cause issues with our stress, our health, our sleep, everything. And for some of you who were just thinking of a question like, should I go and do this? A yes or no question, the answer is yes. So for those of you that were thinking of something, the answer is yes. So the week is going to start off pretty good. The flow of prosperity has already started. You definitely need to make sure that you retreat into nature, recharge those batteries, get some fresh air into you, do some stuff outside. Make sure you're balancing everything properly so you don't become overwhelmed or overstressed. And whatever you were thinking of, it is yes. And that is your reading. It does feel like summer. It's beautiful here. It's 13 degrees Celsius, and Tuesday we're supposed to have snow. Right? Fun. Mischief Maker, how are you? How are you feeling? How is your dad? I'm pretty much nailing 15-minute walks outside. Nice. I sat outside yesterday. I had my Yerba Mate tea, which is delicious, by the way. If anybody that likes tea and you haven't had it, Yerba Mate. It's the one that I get is from Argentina. It's delicious. And I sat outside yesterday, just recharging my own self in nature, because it's definitely needed. Definitely needed. All right, before we get into CCOH, guys, I'm just going to give you a heads up on CCOH. You are more than welcome to ask questions during CCOH. If it's your first time here, please ask questions, chat among yourself. I will squirrel. We do squirrel. And over on Twitch, we do have ads. I will let you guys know when the ads happen. We usually sidetrack from that and we talk about whatever. So please feel free to talk among yourself, ask questions. I do respond. Okay. I'm avoiding the outside because the pollen is covering everything. My porch. Yeah, that sucks, Draven. Yeah. Allergy medicine. 16 Celsius. Nice, monkey. Right on. Squirreling is half the fun, right? No, it depends on the tea, Petro Bull. When I drink Yerba Mates, it's by itself, and I'm probably not saying the name correctly. It is Argentinian. It's a plant. It's delicious. It's supposed to help boost your immune system. So I utilize that. And if I have a black tea, I'll throw maybe a tiny splash of milk into it. It's really dependent on the tea that I'm having and how I like it. All right. Let's get ready to do Coffee Chat of Horrors.
You like scary movies and coffee.
The following show is based on research on horror movies and what goes on behind the scenes of your favorite scary movies. HORDE Entertainment or ReAnimateHer is not responsible for the macabre and horror that you are about to witness. Viewer discretion is advised.
All right. Good morning, my daywalkers. I am ReAnimateHer, your queen of horror, and this is Coffee Chat of Horrors, the only horror show that takes its coffee like it's magic, and that is black. Today's screams come from the warped minds of the Kyoto brothers, killer clowns from outer space. So buckle up, my ghouls, as we traverse the realms that nightmares are made of. Killer Clowns from Outer Space was released in 1988. And if you haven't seen this film, I'm going to tell you to watch it. It is a fun, family-friendly movie. And I say family-friendly because it's not like other horror films out there. 1 second here. Mischief Maker, if it's being rejected, he may be looking at a bypass. Can we get some juju in the chat for Mischief and her dad? YouTube has it as well, but I don't think I set up my YouTube this morning. My commands for YouTube. Oh, it is. Oh, yeah. Thank you guys so very much for taking that little bit of a break there from CCOH. The Real Joker, I'm so stoked for this upcoming game. The game looks interesting, that's for sure. Definitely looks interesting. Now, the tagline for Killer Clowns from Outer Space is, in space, no one can eat ice cream. Now, that tagline kind of reminds you of, like, in space, nobody can hear you scream. Hi, Ouija darling. How are you? Good morning. By directions. Yeah, the Kyoto brothers. Yeah. Good morning, Moon. How are you? How is everybody doing? And if you're just joining us, this is Coffee Chat of Horrors, deep dive into Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Now, the budget for this film was $2 million budget. It brought in $745,000 worldwide. It wasn't a ginormous success at box office, but when it came home to video, that is when it went crazy off the hooks. Now, I don't have any totals of money, dollar amounts when it went to VHS. However, it went big from what I was reading. And that's pretty fucking awesome. We always know horror movies from the 80s never make it huge at the box office. But then once they're out of the box office and went straight to home video, that is when they become like giants. Look at The Thing, right? The Thing with Kurt Russell, that bombed at the theaters, but has a huge following and made lots of money on VHS. So I guess it kind of balanced itself out. Now we are going to check out the trailer for Killer Clowns from Outer Space. In the event that you have not seen it, here's a little taste of what you are looking at. And hopefully y'all should hear it. If you don't hear it, please let me know. The Killer Clowns from Outer Space. They are friggin' awesome. I met the Kyoto brothers last June. I hung out with them the entire weekend. Went to Banff with them. It was a great time. And Speedy, I have a picture with them. I have a signed Critter poster, Critter pictures, and the Killer Clowns from Outer Space. They signed my metal tin poster. I have a metal tin poster. And I had the entire cast and the brothers sign that, so it was pretty awesome. I'm sorry that the sound was low. I don't know, maybe it was the trailer that's on YouTube. I'm not too sure, but I did bump the shit up out of it in OBS so you guys could hear it better. They made full use of that $2 million. Yes, they did, Dead End. How are you, my friend? I feel that clowns make me feel like I need a psychiatrist. I'm not a huge clown fan, but I'm not afraid of them. The decapitation is definitely good. You ordered some sushi, was supposed to be a fancy, but man, it smells terrible. Ugh. See, I don't eat sushi. I don't eat any of that shit. None of that stuff. Cause yeah, gross. But yeah, it didn't do overly well at the box office, but worldwide, it accumulated $745,000, and in the United States, it was $345,000 that it received at box office. But like I said, when it went to VHS, that was a whole other story, and many of us seen it on VHS. I did not see Killer Clowns from Outer Space in the theaters in the year that it came out, which was 1988. And many of us seen this on VHS or on TV back in the day when it came out. I feel that clowns are just annoying. What's scary is zombie clowns. You know what I mean? These killer clowns, I love Shorty. I love the Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I think they're fun. I want to get a animatronic of them so I can fit it in my murder basement. Now, as you may know, Killer Klowns from Outer Space was made by three brothers, Charles, Edward, and Stephen Chiodo. The film was first conceived when Stephen tried to think of the scariest thing he could, and the Chiodo brothers were frightened by clowns, especially Stephen. So Stephen found clowns already terrifying, and so did the brothers. So they utilized that and brought that in to create this film. Hello, Stay Tappin'. I hope you're doing good. Now, the original title was not Killer Klowns from Outer Space. It was just Killer Klowns. And the From Outer Space was added to the title so that audience wouldn't think it was just another slasher movie, because we all know that 1980s was the birth of the slasher genre. We had tons of different slashers that came out, from our big famous ones like Friday the 13th, Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers, Halloween. But we also had some offshoots, Madman and Intruder, and many other slashers that came out during that realm. And Killer Klowns from Outer Space didn't want to be just another slasher. They wanted to make sure people understood that this wasn't a slasher. And it is a great horror comedy. I'm not scared of them, really. Something just weird to me about them that people like them and they thought they were funny. It makes me wonder what's wrong with people. My uncle loves clowns. He collected them all over the place. It was kind of scary. A random question. Does anyone have any NECA figures? I'm trying to debate of what, Killer Klowns? NECA figures are really good, so the quality is definitely worth it. Why did I just get the urge to watch Maniac Cop? That's another good one, 80s, right? We're going to have an ad here. It's going to be starting very soon on the Twitch side of things, guys. Mr. Rotten Treats, hi, how are you? You're super excited for the Killer Klowns game on the 4th? Right on, right on. It's going to be a fun game from what I can see, from what I hear. Sailor Malexia, welcome to the crypt. Thank you for the follow. So yes, we're going to squirrel a little bit because we are going to have an ad. I don't know if Seribot is working. I may have to have Seribot join us again. But one of my mods, would you be able to tell me when the ad starts and ends? I'm not sure if I have to rejoin Seribot to let us know when the ad starts and ends. Just so silly. I hate that because Seribot was suspended on Twitch. Yeah, like what made them think to dress up like that in the first place? I don't know. It's something from a long time ago, Draven. I'm good. Took my 8-year-old nephew out for lunch. He won his football game, so I'm spoiling him. Congratulations to your nephew and his team. That's awesome. No, I know it was overturned. However, when he gets suspended, I think it kicks the bot from your channel. So you have to go back into Seribot and ask it to join again. Hi, Fallen. How are you? All right. So we are in an ad break. There we go. So I didn't have to re-add it. That's perfect. Yeah. Because Twitch has been upping their bot control. So almost time to make dinner. Nice, Macabre. I'm good, Fallen. I'm good. We've got an ad break over on Twitch, so we get to squirrel for a little bit. But yes, yeah, you had to re-add it. Yeah, I had to re-add it the last time as well. It got suspended, Speedy. Yep, darn ads. I know. If you're over on the Twitch side of things, the only way not to have ads is either to subscribe to the channel, or get, what the hell is it called? Nitro, which kills ads across the website. Twitch API changes. Oh yeah, Twitch API changes quite a bit to keep up, right? No one's real. See, on YouTube, I live stream over on YouTube and I get control over the ads. And I noticed there's not a lot of view bots or bots in general over on the YouTube side of things. So you're getting what you see, where Twitch and Kick and all these other platforms, you can raise your view count by embedding your stream on a popular website, which is legal, right? So they're always changing and updating everything over on the Twitch side of things. All right, welcome back from that ad. So now we can move on. So I have some wall space and I'm thinking about adding some shelves. Nice. Definitely, James. Definitely. Twitch equal Turbo, Discord equal Nitro. Yeah, whatever it is. I don't remember what Twitch has, but they have a thing where you can pay them a monthly subscription and get no ads across the entire platform instead of just subscribing and supporting your creator. They have another thing. I honestly cannot remember what the hell it's called for the life of me. I don't use it because ads don't really bother me any. But did you guys know that the film Killer Klowns from Outer Space had a different opening scene that never made it? Yeah, so in the opening scene, so it's so close to being what it should have been, but they had issues, so they had to change the opening. So the film opens with a title sequence and the introduction of the clown tent. But the film almost got a much more exciting opening. Originally, the film was supposed to open with two people making out before a guy shoves his date out of his car and drives off. As he was driving, he would have looked next to him and seen a clown driving an invisible car. Right? That would have been there. This second part happens in the film. So this is the part that actually happens in the film. So the second part is supposed to be more climatic. The guy's car sort of just rolls off the bridge, but it was supposed to go much further than that. Unfortunately, the cables snapped that was holding the car before the crew could remove the sandbags holding the car in place. So we get this tiny little tumble instead of this big climatic, you know, off the cliff kind of deal going on. So it was supposed to be a lot more dramatic and bigger, more climatic, but they had some issues on set with things breaking and not holding in place. And so that's what we got. They couldn't redo it. I'm planning on getting a shelving unit behind me and putting a shelving unit behind me so I can get more of my collection out because I have way too many things that are still in the closet. You know, that's one way to kill the mood. Yeah, right. You guys are making out. She must have said like no, and he kicked her out of the car, right? Now, Killer Klowns was inspired by some of their favorite movies. And for those of you that have seen Killer Klowns, let me know if any of these you have seen, and maybe you'll be able to see the inspiration from these said movies. So the power chamber on the clown ship was a reference to the chamber set in Forbidden Planet. Have anybody here seen Forbidden Planet? Hi, Shellys. So many things, just not Monkey and I in the closet. That is true, Kratos. Or he lied about how big the part she was have been getting was, maybe, but he kicked her out. Or even attacking motorcycle squats. Maybe. But anyways, Forbidden Planet is a good movie. If you haven't seen it, definitely go and check it out. The power chamber in the clown ship is a reference to the chamber in Forbidden Planet, which is one of their favorite movies. Another one was the cotton candy cocoons are also reminiscent of the traps from Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Now, according to Steven, this was not a planned reference and must have been a subconscious decision since he does love the film Invasion of the Body Snatchers. And when they were watching these as kids, it would have been the original version with Mr. Sutherland in it, right? Nope, but it was mentioned in the intro song for Rocky Horror Picture Show. I love Rocky Horror Picture Show. Yeah. So that is a little bit of the inspiration from some of the stuff that you will see in Killer Klowns from Outer Space if you go and watch Forbidden Planet and Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and you kind of see some of the inspiration of this film. And we know that this film had a ton of basic practical effects. And I have some of those really cool effects for you. I've been doing some digging to try to figure out some of the effects that they did in the movie to see if I can get a breakdown of how they did it. Sometimes they give you breakdowns. I had to do a bit of searching to find out exactly how they did some of the stuff. Other times, they don't really give you that breakdown of that. So it's quite hard to find that information. So when the clowns die by getting their noses broken, do you guys remember that? So here's a spoiler. If you've not seen Killer Clowns from Outer Space, they always have a weakness. Every killer has a weakness, right? So when the clowns die by getting their noses broken, they spin around and explode in a green haze. Trying to figure out how the hell did they do that? In order to get that great effect, they used spinning lights and they attached glass shards onto a rotating ring to create the shadows on the wall. So when you punch them in the nose, they die, they spin around and explode in a green haze. That is how they did that, is they utilized spinning lights and glass shards to create the rotating rig to create the shadows on the walls and using lighting. So that was a pretty cool effect. It's not CGI. In 1988, CGI wasn't really heavily used. Believe it or not, CGI was a lot more money and less technology than doing practical effects, and now it's reversed. Now it seems to be the cheapest way to do things is CGI, where practical effects are more expensive. It blows my mind. I prefer practical effects over CGI any day, unless the CGI is there to like remove strings and, you know, specific things out. Yeah, it is pretty clever, Dahi. I thought so too. Now, they also used a very simple visual effects like cross dissolves when the clowns trap people inside of balloons. The special effects guy also coated the balloon animal dog with latex so that it couldn't or wouldn't pop while they were running with it on the ground. So this was an issue beforehand. The balloons would pop. Right. So they had a balloon animal dog. Right. So what they had to do is take it and coat it with latex so that it wouldn't pop as they were running with it. And I thought that was a pretty cool thing to do. The ingenuity of practical effects never ceased to amaze me. No, the creativity that these people have and these brains of theirs, that they can create these things that have never been created before and make them out of whatever is lying around. You know, like in Nightmare on Elm Street, the stairs part where Nancy is running up the stairs and she's getting stuck. You know what I mean? Oatmeal and all sorts of other shit went into that. Or like in The Fly, how they did the exploding eyes on Seth, right? It's just insane what they can do and what they create. Now, this movie did use real pies. The crew discovered that getting hit with real pies actually hurt at close range and that the effect did not look as good as if they threw the pie tins at actor David Peel. Charles Kyoto created a wristband to attach the back of the pie tins so that the pies would fly at the actor, but the tins would stay attached to their hands. So attached the tin, the pie inside, so that when he threw it, only the pie leaped out and onto the actor instead of the pie and the tin smashing into their face. Kind of lessened the pain of being slapped in the face with a pie, which I thought was pretty cool that they created this wristband that would, you know, chuck it at you and just throw the pie into your face. This brings up a good question. Do you know if there's a book that goes over the story behind practical effects? Yes, there is. Tom Savini has one. There's also a documentary on Tubi by Tom Savini called Smoke and Mirrors. Check that out as well. It's pretty cool. Yeah, we know Hollywood loves shredded condoms, rubbers, and KY jelly. That's their thing. I'm curious how they got the popcorn to crawl across the floor. Yeah, I couldn't find information, but I'm going to assume a lot of the time it would be a couple on a string and moved along, or on a roller and moved along. I can imagine tins back then were flimsy, and yeah, they weren't as flimsy as are the ones that we have now. Hi, Vanessa. How are you? Yeah, it's definitely a good movie, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I highly suggest everybody to see it. It's a fun film. We were just starting on the practical effects that they used. And here we go. Here's one for you, Dahi, about the popcorn. The popcorn gun included a compressor inside that would fire real popcorn. It was the most expensive prop in the movie, costing $7,000 and taking 6 weeks to build. So you guys remember, if you've seen the movie, there's a popcorn gun. Yeah. And inside that, they used real food. They used real popcorn. They used real pie. And I thought that was a pretty cool practical effect there as well. Just to shoot popcorn, $7,000 and 6 weeks to build. And that was the most expensive prop on the set that they had to create. Yeah. Just to shoot popcorn. Sounds like money well spent. I think it did it. It did its job, right? It did its job. I have bought a new coffee. It's Kicking Horse. I don't know if you guys have had Kicking Horse coffee. It's Canadian, so it's Kicking Horse coffee, and it's called Kick Ass. And it's their like dark roast max caffeinated coffee. It's delicious. So basically, I won't be shooting popcorn into my own mouth anytime soon. No, Coffee Lion, how are you? All right. So now the Jeep. You guys remember the Jeep, right? So the Jeep that is covered in and filled with cotton candy webbing was loaned to the production by a local car dealership. They were told by the effects department that if they sprayed the Jeep with Pam cooking spray, all right, the webbing wouldn't permanently stick and could be wiped right off. However, the solvent in the webbing caused major damage to the inside of the car, particularly to the seats and finish. This necessitated to about $3,000 in repairs at a different car dealership before production could return the Jeep to its owner. My goodness. Perfect. Thank you, Kratos. I heard my phone go off. I looked down. I was like, okay. But I guess it makes sense. Popcorn is so light, you probably need some serious compression air. Yeah, you would need some serious compressed air to have it shoot out of a gun, because you can go on popcorn and it will just like blow away. The pies melted at the flesh on the humans. I'm good, just very sore. Volunteered with dogs last night. That's awesome, Coffee. I'm fabulous. 3K is 8K nowadays. Yeah. So they told the production company told them, hey, we're not going to ruin the vehicle. We're going to put Pam on it, cooking spray, and while the webbing is just not going to stick to it. However, it did cause damage. I would love to have that Jeep, because that is movie history right there. So okay, yeah, they did $3,000 worth of damage, but it was in Killer Klowns from Outer Space. I don't know. I see a big benefit to that. You know what I mean? Knowing that my vehicle, incurred some damage, they paid for it, but this bitch was in Killer Klowns from Outer Space. Like, that would be my thing. The director's favorite part to the film was the shadow puppet scene. You guys remember that scene? Yeah, let alone the webbing. Yeah, definitely. The dealership disagrees. Yeah, but that could add selling value, Deadwalk. This Jeep right here was in Killer Klowns from Outer Space. It adds value to the sale. My vehicle is going to be in a horror movie. Bang that baby up. Right? I think it would have some kind of selling effect to people. Like, look at this Jeep. This Jeep was in Killer Klowns. I don't know. Maybe not. Anyways, the director's favorite part in this film. Now, all three brothers directed it. But this was Edward came up with this. So the shadow puppets, we tried to think of the stupidest, most impossible thing we could do in this film, and my brother Edward came up with it. It was a really absurd thing to happen. So basically the shadow puppets turn into dinosaurs and like eat everybody, you know? They wanted something silly to keep with the fun, creative side of Killer Klowns from Outer Space. And I thought that was a pretty cool scene. True, to the right buyer many years later. Very true, because this movie didn't get a cult following until after the fact. So it hit, video home, VHS, and boom, blew up, right? Could you imagine if they had that Jeep now and what it would cost to a collector of Killer Klowns from Outer Space? The majority of the Killer Klowns were all friends. So the whole cast of Killer Klowns from Outer Space, they were all friends of the Kyoto brothers. Now we know many directors usually put their friends in films. Romero did it. Rob Zombie did it. Craven did it. Tons of directors utilize their friends because half of them all know each other from acting, whether it was Broadway acting, off-Broadway shows, or small movie theater productions. They all kind of like knew each other. So a lot of their friends were the cast and crew of Killer Klowns. Now, the Terenzi brothers were played by a very popular comedy duo of that time, Michael S. Siegel and Peter Licassi. Their chemistry on set and in the film was amazing. They had excellent timing with each other. They did a lot of the comedy relief in this film. And they were called the Terenzi brothers, if you remember them in the film. They had excellent timing, excellent chemistry, and it just brought a more comedic atmosphere to the film. Of course, in Killer Klowns from Outer Space, they weren't going for a serious horror. They were going more for a fun, happy killer atmosphere, right? Mixing those two together. Did you guys know that each movie Robin Williams did, he required at least 10 homeless people to be hired for roles? Actually, there were quite a few people who've done that, Speedy. Yeah, there's been quite a few people who have done that. I can't think of the two at the top of my head, but they were on a coffee chat of horrors that I did. And that's really awesome to utilize homeless people, definitely, because they could use the money, right? And it gives back to the community somewhat, right? They did spend a lot of money making the movie. Yeah. Movies aren't cheap. I mean, you can make a cheap movie and they can be just as good as a very expensive film. All right, so let's see here. During the production, the executives asked for more clown mayhem. And this is how we received the door-to-door shots of Killer Klowns zapping people. So they seen a test run of what they have, and they were like, no, we need more mayhem. We need more chaos. We need something more. So they decided to do Killer Klowns knocking door to door and shooting and zapping people. The production also shot more destruction of the drugstore back in Hollywood because the original drugstore location used during principal photography, which was in Santa Cruz, would not allow them to make such a mess. So they had to use two different areas. So for their principal photography, they used a drugstore in Santa Cruz. However, this scene where they destroy the drugstore was definitely not in Santa Cruz. That was back in Hollywood. And they made a huge friggin' mess, if you guys remember that scene. And so that's how we were able to get more chaos because of the Killer Klowns. And I think that was a really good touch, adding them going door to door, zapping people, and the big, ginormous disaster they created, which is a lot. If you watch the movie in that drugstore scene, that's a lot of damage, a big fucking mess. He was good for Hollywood, definitely, Kratos. You guys remember Ernest? You guys remember Ernest at all? I do. I loved Ernest. I thought Ernest was awesome back in the day. He had numerous shows. Ernest Scared Stupid. Ernest was great. And it was an awesome, fun time for people. Primarily young kids, young teenagers in that area. Yeah. Who didn't watch the shit out of Ernest, right? I loved how the lady just took the heart-shaped box of chocolates from a random clown. Yeah, I know, right? Your name is Ernest? What? That's awesome. Stay tapping. I miss Wes Craven. He passed away. Yeah, may he rest in peace. Your dad hated Ernest because his name was Ernest? That's funny. I liked Ernest. But anyways, Ernest Scared Stupid, which was released in 1991, threw Ernest into a horror setting, parodying fright flicks with slapstick humor the character was known for, which Ernest was slapstick comedy. The terrifying trolls used in the film were actually 2 killer clown masks repurposed for the production. And I thought that was quite cool. And how they just, repurpose things among Hollywood. That long ago. Yeah, I know. But yeah, they repurposed 2 killer clown masks for the production. Now, you guys remember Clownzilla, right? In Killer Clowns from Outer Space. So Clownzilla is the big bad clown that emerges at the end of the movie for one final battle with the protagonists. Originally, Clownzilla was set to be stop motion creation. However, stop motion was very, very expensive and not in the budget. So Clownzilla was eventually made to be a man in a suit. Yeah. Do you guys know who Clownzilla was played by? It was played by none other than Charles Kyoto. He got into the Clownzilla suit and was doing his Clownzilla stuff. Now, if you haven't seen it, there's a spoiler, so definitely go and see it because you'll have fun after learning all these little facts and tidbits about the movie. Oh, not another ad. There we go. Do you guys know the punk rock band from America called the Dickies? Mm-hmm. Well, the Dickies created the theme song for Killer Clowns. That's in the beginning where you hear everything. That was done by the Dickies, which is quite cool because it put their name out there. Now, the composer for Killer Clowns from Outer Space was John Massari. Now, there's a Killer Clowns march, and that's the theme of the Killer Clowns, so you can hear that music throughout the movie. And Massari created that theme when he was in high school. Before this movie was even a thing, before anything happened, he created the Killer Clowns March in high school. Massari mentioned that he played a lot of instruments in school and carried that ability over to the recording process for Killer Clowns from Outer Space. He said, quote, "I played everything." So the schedule on that was very intense. And he spent 2 weeks composing, 2 weeks performing at home, 2 weeks doing pre-production, and then another 2 weeks in the studio. I thought it was really cool that he created this in high school. So well before Killer Clowns from Outer Space even was done. Now, there's also another cool little tidbit of information that I have for you. So Massari was supposed to write a theme for Jason Voorhees in Jason Lives. Yes. And he did. Clownzilla's theme song. So when we see Clownzilla, he has his own theme. That was originally written for Jason Voorhees' Jason Lives film. But for some reason, the producers of Jason Lives rejected the music Massari sent them for the trailer. They decided to go with something more cliche and predictable, much like with his Clown March theme, though Massari saved the music he written and used it for Clownzilla's entrance instead. I did not know that until I looked at this research. Right? So much creativity when you're not strapped getting to a 9-to-5 job every day. Oh, 100% Kratos, 100%. Yeah, because you have so much more time, right? So I thought that was really cool that the Clownzilla theme song was technically written for Jason Voorhees, but the producers of of that movie said no, thank you. Let's go with something different. Yeah, definitely a cool connection, Dahi. Definitely a cool connection. Did you guys know that there is a recent short film that was released for Killer Klowns? And I've got the little short film for you. So recently there was a short film released, a very short official film to promote a new Killer Klowns attraction at Halloween Horror Nights. Yes. And we are going to watch that right now. It's under 2 minutes long, and I'm going to show you guys that very short official release.
But you missed it.
All right, let's rewind that. Let's do this. Boom. This should be loud. I have it blasting. So here we are, the short film.
But you missed the pass, though.
Because you keep looking at Lindsay.
Right.
Looking at it. Pull me over, man.
Oh, now you want to get out.
With pleasure. Oh, my gosh. Look, I'll tell you this. Ain't no girl gonna get me off my game.
Right.
That's fact.
You know, you always want to stop. I mean, we should just leave you at this point.
You clowns are not leaving me, all right?
Oh, okay.
Yo, Brock, get me soda. I want for Lindsay, too.
Oh, my gosh. That one. Oh, I gotta turn it around. That's what you're okay. All right, do that.
Dude,
What?
is that a clown?
I think so.
Look at his hair.
Shoot, his hands.
Yo!
Take my money so I can get a soda, please.
Brock, hey! Brock, you struck him! Down! No! Please!
I can't believe they really left me. Unbelievable. Hey, Chelsea, it's Brock. Could you come get me?
The killer clowns from outer space have landed, only at Universal's Halloween Horror Nights.
Welcome to my laboratory.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, isn't that cute? Yeah, it was definitely a nice little short for the haunted attraction. Oh, we've got an ad break over on Twitch. Woman, I'm just going to buy this. Just kidding. Yeah, we've got an ad break. But I thought that was kind of cute. I enjoyed that. Now... Oh, I won't go into it because we still got an ad. We got 1 minute and 4 seconds over on Twitch's side right now for an ad. But I thought it was pretty cute, little short comedy to bring people to the attraction for what did they say it was called? Haunted Nights or some shit like that. Yeah, Halloween Horror Nights. So that's cool. Come on, ad done. I swear, these ads feel like forever. They really do. That's like 24 seconds, but it just feels like it's forever. Forever, ever, ever, ever. What does everyone have plans for the rest of the day today? We are going to raid somebody after stream over on the Twitch side of things. We are going to raid somebody this afternoon if you guys want. I'm trying to raid after every stream. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. The ad over on Twitch is done. I know, it's like being in an elevator. You may check out the place I sent you. Nice. I'll have to look it up. I'll have to look at it. Now, that was the Killer Klowns from Outer Space short film for the horror Halloween nights that they were promoting. The short features Shorty the Clown shrinking a car down to toy size, complete with some pleasantly retro special effects, before stomping on said vehicle and the two guys inside of it. It's silly, it's funny, it's got gore, and it's just a little bit creepy. It's a perfect little comeback for the Klowns, which is awesome. Hello, Zach. How are you? Now, it really sucks that we did not get a sequel to Killer Klowns from Outer Space. And the reason why was it was just a lot of red tape and bullshit that happened. And we didn't really get the sequel to Killer Klowns from Outer Space. Will we ever? Who knows? Aborted Satan, how are you? Thank you so very much for your 20-month resub. I appreciate it. Mwah. Thank you. Too bad they didn't recreate the knock your block off. Oh, right? That would have been fun. I think that would have been great. So we talked about earlier taking down the Killer Klowns. Like, how do you destroy them, right? We heard that you have to punch them in their red nose, and that's how you do it, right? So to take down the Klowns, all you have to do is destroy their red round noses. Edward said it seemed logical. Stephen Kyoto added that it was just a matter of taking the familiar zombie trope and applying it to their killer clown creatures in their own film. How do you kill a zombie? Shoot the brains, kill the zombie. Same idea. Stephen says, same thing. You just got to punch the clown in their red nose, which then kills the clown creature, just like the zombie trope where you shoot them in the head and you destroy the brains, right? The remake version of Killer Klondike from Outer Space. Oh. The movie studios didn't see the dollar signs in their eyes. Most likely, Macabre, most likely. There's a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff that goes on. Sorry. Oh, there we go. Now, I thought that was quite cute. Now I want to watch Planet Terror. I love Planet Terror and Death Proof. Those are my double features. I friggin' love both of those movies. So that is how they came up with the idea for killing the Killer Klowns, which I thought that was pretty cool. They used the same zombie trope, but applied it to clowns by punching them in the nose. Now, there was an original ending for Killer Klowns from Outer Space. And in the original ending, Deputy Dave dies, right? There's a theory that the clowns are wearing a suit, but the head is like a jack-in-the-box snakeworm thing. It's possibility. I really wish we had more to Killer Klowns, like a sequel. But you never know. We got a video game. We might receive a sequel sometime down the road. Not really sure. But yes, in the original ending, Deputy Dave dies. And well, they didn't do that this time around. They gave it a more happy ending than the original ending that they had in store for it. When they were auditioning actors for these roles, they were grouping them up and giving them lines to read. And the reason why they did this was to see who had the chemistry together. Because as you notice, the Killer Klowns are usually together and the protagonists are usually together. And so they made them audition that way for each role to see, one, the kind of chemistry. Can they work well together? Can they bounce off each other? Will that show on screen? And it worked really well for them because they got the right crew together to play these parts. Did you know that the clowns were dancers and acrobats? Yeah. So each one of the clowns, besides Clownzilla, were all dancers and acrobats because they wanted the bodies to move differently than just someone walking around in a clown suit. They wanted more of a body movement flow. And so they found that dancers and acrobats had that motion that they were looking for that your average actor doesn't have. So they utilized dancers and acrobats. This was done beforehand. This is what they wanted beforehand. Like, they wanted dancers and acrobats in those costumes. So that's what they were looking for when they were hiring people for Killer Klowns. Yeah, and you can see that, right? You can see it in their movements, the way they walked, because not everyone could be so graceful in giant clown costumes. I know, right? And having to move the body in a certain way. Now, there was some controversy with Killer Klowns. Nothing crazy, but around the same time that Killer Klowns was being done, MGM began a production of 2 low-budget horror films, one of them being Killer Klowns from Outer Space, and the other, Clown House. Okay? By Victor Salva. Boo, we hate that guy. He's a piece of shit. Okay? Anyways, that is two films, Killer Klowns from Outer Space, and the other one was Clown's House by Victor Salva. What happened there? Oh, yes. There you go, Deadwalk. Good catch. Good catch. Did the town in Killer Klowns remind anyone else of the same town in the 1988 Blob movie? They were all repurposed. You know, they did a lot of shooting in Santa Cruz and then back on a Hollywood sound set. So Clown House was done by Victor Salva. Anyways, both films are very different, but with the concept of killer clowns. Salva, creator of the controversial Clown House, expressed that there was a certain rivalry between both productions to know who copied whom, but in the end, the films were very different from each other. So the controversy was basically Salva saying that the Kyoto brothers copied his film, when in reality, they're 2 different films, totally 2 different films. The only thing that's in it is the Killer Klowns. And I don't see any similarity between Clown House and Killer Klowns from Outer Space. These are both MGM productions. They begun at the same time. Clown House never really went that far. I don't know, a show of hands, how many people here have seen Clown House? Probably not many. Yeah, you can find it. I'm not sure where. I haven't seen Clown House in a very long time. I did see Clown House when I went through a clown horror phase, but I don't like Victor Salva. He's a piece of crap. And if you don't know who Victor Salva is, he's the same guy who created Jeepers Creepers, but he's also the same guy that got in trouble for his nasty crimes. I don't want to say what it is on my live stream. But if you know, you know. If you don't, Google. All right, so a little bit more on Killer Klowns. This movie had a ton of information, and I had to cut some of it out. I only pulled what I thought was going to be interesting because it's got a ton of information, and I don't have hours to do CCOH. So I condensed it down by grabbing what I thought it was interesting and what I would have think you guys thought was interesting. So here's a little goofy part for you. When Farmer Gene Green goes into his house to get tools so he can retrieve the meteor, which has a very same premise in like The Blob. Anyways, the prop master can clearly be seen through the screen door handing props to the actor. So if you rewatch, and you'll see the Farmer Green and you'll see the guy right in the fucking door. Exactly, Kratos. My exact sentiments. I love Jeepers Creepers. But I don't like the director. So we watch it, you'll see him in the doorway. He's clearly in the doorway. And yes, this movie does have some similarities to a few movies. The Blob, one of them, because we do know that the Blob comes from a meteorite that hits the earth, and there's a homeless man. He goes over to it, pokes it, it grabs the stick and then goes up and gets his arm, right? Also, Night of the Comet. These all have similarities with the killer clowns from outer space. A little bit. And a lot of the times these movies are filmed in same locations because Hollywood likes to reuse all of the locations that they have because they're already allowed. You know what I mean? They don't have to really hunt. They already have permissions to use, right? Good morning, Aaron. How are you? How are you doing? What are you oopsing? That's all right. That's perfect. Perfect. We're on time. We are on time. I'm loving my coffee warmer. Just telling you right now, I have a Mr. Coffee warmer that I got on sale for like $18. It works beautifully. Beautifully. I was really leery, but it keeps my coffee warm. Not hot, but warm. So enough to drink it because I drink it black. Now, there were about 40 clowns used in the climax in the spaceship Big Top. 40 friggin' clowns. You love coffee warmers? Yeah, I didn't have one. And I found when I did Coffee Chat of Horrors, I'd put my cup down and I go to drink my coffee and it's ice effing cold. I'm not an iced coffee kind of gal. I'm really not. I like one on a really hot day, but it's not something that I would go to drink on a regular basis. And I always put my coffee down and then I forget and I drink it and it's fucking cold. The fact that you could see the prop master in the movies was the oops. Yeah. They didn't see that even in editing. Even in the editing part, usually you'll catch things when you're in the edit parts. When you're in the edit stage of doing a movie, right? You're editing, you catch things. They didn't catch it. And if they did, they were probably like, oopsies, we can't redo it anyways. I like cold coffee. I like cold coffee, but not often, and I have to be in the mood for it. I got one for my mom too, and she's hooked now. Yeah, they're awesome. I love it. I bought this. It's a Mr. Coffee one. Mr. Coffee is a brand name, and it's been around for years. I've seen it on Amazon. I'm like, yeah, you know what? $18 on sale. Why not? If it doesn't work well, it's only $18. It is what it is, but it works beautifully, and I love it. You do that while listening to your stream? You put coffee down and you forget about it? Yeah, we're swerving line. We're swerving lime and teen driver texting. Off to the squirrel. Okay, so the characters of Mike and Debbie were meant to be a role reversal of horror movie archetypes. Yeah. Mike is the dumb blonde who doesn't realize bad things are happening, and Debbie is the smarter one who catches on quickly. As we know in horror, usually horror has always made and I hate to say this, like the underdogs or the people, the actors and people who are looked down upon during society. So people of color, women, etc., are usually raised up in horror films, right? They're the final girls, the final couples. They're the hero at the end, which horror has always done. Always done it. But horror has also portrayed the dumb female trope. You know, the big titty girl that's running up the stairs instead of down the stairs and out of the house when the killer is after her. They always like to have the dumb chick in the movie. And every horror movie does. In Killer Clowns from Outer Space, they reversed that. They didn't want that. They wanted it to be different. Scary Movie did that trope so well. Well, yeah. And I mean, Scary Movie is fucking awesome. We watched that the other night as well. Debbie caught on right away. She took one look at the tent in the middle of the forest and was like, hell no. Exactly. Yeah, June 4th, the video game comes out, Aaron. I love Scary Movie. Scary Movie is great. So they switched that role. They made that on purpose where Debbie catches on and The guy, Mike, was the dumber version, which I thought was pretty cool when reading and finding this information out, because you notice it in the movie, but it doesn't really hit you in the movie until I was reading about it and looked. I believe you need a mixture of everything in a horror movie. You need stupid people, you need smart people, but we always know they always have the slutty girl, right? And then they always have the girl next door, and then they have the goth girl, and then they have this and they have that. So they always have a stereotype in every horror movie. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, because people are made up of dumb, smart, it didn't quite click when I watched it, but now I can totally see the role reversal. Yeah, you don't really notice it when you're watching the movie, but then after the fact, when you're talking about it and you're looking at it, you can see the role reversals in here. So I thought that was pretty cool. I think I would be the slutty character in a horror movie. Would you, Aaron? Ain't nothing wrong with being the slutty character. You know what? No qualms with it. Sexual empowerment is what I call it. I don't like to use the term slut. Slut's a term used to bring down a woman for her sexuality, not men. You know that, right? When men sleep around and have 50 women under their belts, they're manly. When a woman does it, she's a whore. And I'm like, no, we can't have that double standard. If a man can be a fucking stud, then a woman could be a fucking stud, right? I'd be the innocent one smacking group members trying to separate. Yeah. You never separated in the horror movie. Never. But yeah, I thought that was a lot of fun with the Killer Klowns from Outer Space. I've watched this movie numerous times, so that when I was sitting here doing the research and watching it while doing the research, because that's what I was doing, and then listening to the Calgary HorrorCon panel that I recorded with the Kyoto brothers. I didn't do their panel. Another team did their panel at the Calgary HorrorCon, but I recorded it. And so I sat and listened to the hour panel of Killer Klowns from Outer Space with the Kyoto brothers that were there. And then I did my online research and went through a couple of the magazines that had Killer Clown interviews in them and the Masari interview. So it was pretty cool to dig some of that stuff up. And as I'm watching the movie and doing the research, I'm like, oh shit, look at that, right? It was just like coming together. It is Dead Walk. Killer Klowns is just a fun movie. And I say it's a family-friendly movie. It is definitely a fun film. I would be the only one, I would be the one playing video and not caring about what was happening. Mm. Oh, you'd be playing video games. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, guys, our deep dive into Killer Klowns from Outer Space on Coffee Chat of Horrors has frightfully, delightfully journeyed through the realms of terror and absurdity, from the eerie cotton candy cocoons to the menacing antics of the extraterrestrial clowns. We've explored every spine-tingling detail, but amidst the screams and shivers we found, laughter, a reminder that even the darkest corners of the cosmos can't dampen our spirits. So, as with that, we bid farewell to the intergalactic jesters. Let's raise our mugs to the macabre magic that they brought to our screens. And until next time, stay spooky, stay caffeinated, and keep embracing the thrill of the unknown. Thank you guys for watching Coffee Chat of Horrors. We're going to head to our normal chit-chat scene. Yeah, so that was what we have for you today on our show, Coffee Chat of Horrors. I really, really enjoyed deep diving into this realm of this movie. There is so much information on the internet about this that I had to go through it all and figure out what I thought was going to be interesting, what I found interesting, and what I thought you guys would find interesting, because there's a shit ton of stuff on this. And some of them were just like, not really. Hello, Devil. Don't worry. You can catch the VOD over on my YouTube channel, and it'll be cut up into chapters. So I will do that right after stream. Once we end, I'll cut it up into chapters, and you guys can be able to fast forward through the shenanigans and get right down to the nitty gritty. But it's all right, Devil. It's all right. How are you today? That was fun. Thank you. I miss Santa Cruz. Thank you for being here, Dead End. So much good info on a great comedy horror classic. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, you guys can definitely watch all of my Coffee Chat of Horrors over on my YouTube channel if you guys want. They're all on there. They have been edited so they can do clips like chapters. So you don't. Some people don't want to watch the shenanigans that we have afoot here, you know, because sometimes there's a lot of shenanigans. And people don't want to watch that. They just want to get to the nitty gritty of Coffee Chat of Horrors. And so I do chapters instead of editing the entire thing and cutting it out and then re-uploading it. I don't have time for that. Carla is one horrible town. Too many vampires. Santa Cruz is used in a lot of films for filming. Production, photography, like it's so many places, so many times as Santa Cruz been used, especially in horror, which I find is cool. And it would be a good place to go and check out. You having a good weekend, Devil? All right, I am going to look for somebody to raid. Yes, I am. You guys are more than welcome to join me in raiding. It's a fun time to raid. I enjoy raiding people and bringing you guys to see new faces and new games and all sorts of fun stuff. Santa Cruz added behind Salem. Yes, Salem is another great place. I am getting ready to play with the camper. Nice, Devil. Heavy's outside building. He's working on his van. So basically he's customizing his van right now. He's making the van walls because he's creating everything himself, right? So we're going to Vantopia. I didn't tell you guys this. Oh, yes. Thank you for being here, Deadwalk, in that one. I appreciate it. We are going to be going to Vantopia at the end of May. So at the end of May, we're going to be camping in Heavy's van. So he is getting it ready to camp in. He is making, he just created this weekend the walls of the van, and he is going to be making the bed frame and the bed, the shaggin' wagon, exactly, Kratos. The bed is actually going to be fold up. It's almost like a futon. So he has to create all of that. We're going to have power in the van as well. So we're going to be going to Vantopia. It's in Equity, Alberta. It's a all long weekend event. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's vans from all over the place. They have live bands, food trucks, like the whole friggin' thing. I actually might do a vlog, Macabre. I won't have any internet access out there. We're going to be out in the boonies. There's nothing out there. So I probably will not be on social media. However, I will be doing some recording, taking my camera there and doing some walking around, showing you guys van. So I'll make a pre-recorded vlog or video of it and definitely speak about how it is living in a van. Because we're going to live in that van Friday, Saturday, and we leave Sunday afternoon. So it should be a good time. That'll be at the end of May, so May 31st. I believe. Yeah, it'll be a good time. Next, when the van is a rockin', right? I'll have Heavy put more pictures into the Discord so you guys can see what he does. He customizes and fabricates everything he ever owns. So when he buys something, it's never the same. It's not factory. Everything, even from the banana seat bicycle that I have, is all going to be custom. Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And it'll be great to show you guys some of the fun stuff that we get to see. Now, next Sunday, 11 a.m. Mountain Time over on Twitch and on YouTube, we are going to be diving into the Monster Squad. That is our next deep dive on Coffee Chat of Horrors. If you guys have any recommendations on films that you would like to see, I do have a list with Reaper 1923 that he is working on. So we had quite a few recommendations, which are coming, and I'm excited about it. But definitely let me know if there are other films. Post them over on my YouTube or hit me up in Discord. You guys can get in touch with me on any platform, really, to let me know. Yeah, another classic. Yeah. I figure I love Monster Squad. It's such a great movie. I must be talking way too much. It's such a great movie. Let's see here. You know what? Let's raid. We're going to raid. What are they playing? They're playing an indie game, it looks like. So we're going to get ready to actually raid. We're going to do our credits, and yeah. Monster Squad for a ton of us. That was our first horror movie. Yeah, exactly. It definitely was something. Why isn't my credits working? God damn it, these fucking credits, man. You're never talking too much. Oh my Lord, I feel like I'm talking too much. But I want to thank you guys so very much. I mean, I'm really appreciative that you guys come here every Sunday to hang out with me and listen to my shenanigans and the research that I have found for Coffee Chat of Horrors. I really do hope you guys enjoy the show and watch the VOD over on my YouTube channel. And for those of you over on YouTube, thank you so very much for watching my videos. When you guys watch my videos, you like and comment, that actually helps my channel grow so much. So for those of you that are over there watching my videos, hanging out, liking, commenting, let me tell you, it does not go unnoticed. I respond to every comment, and I'm so appreciative of you guys commenting, liking, and watching. I do. I appreciate it. Gore TV, thank you so very much for becoming a Leviathan and gifting numerous memberships. Also, if you're over on my Patreon page, please take a look at the announcement that I made. I'll be making another announcement in the Discord for those of you that are not on my Patreon page, just so you guys can get the benefit as well. Wait, you stream, right? Oh, Winging the Kittens now. Nice, Zach. Nice. Yeah, so we are going to go and read. Let me get my thing up here. But yes, on the YouTube side of things, I'm going to end that stream now, and then we'll get ready to raid over on Twitch. Thank you guys so very much for joining me and hanging out with me over on YouTube. I really do appreciate you guys and everything that you do. I will definitely slash this all later. Bye. Now over on